to another episode here. I thought I would shoot another, probably not as long a video on the 3.5. I'm a bit tired the other day and I was dragging my feet a bit, but I wanted to get underneath the vehicle and do a bit more of a thorough inspection and show you guys what I found, all the good and a little bit of rust on the other side that I didn't see last time. And I want to talk to you a bit about the engine bay and things that's going on there. So I've jacked this side of the car up. I've got it on ramps and everything. A ramp on this side and a ramp partial there, plus the jack on the underframe for safety. So I'm going to try and get under there with a flashlight and show you what I've found. But first of all, I'm going to start up top. If you've been following me on the group site, you'll know that I went to the DMV today, and oh, that was a lot of fun. I got down there about 7 o'clock, waited outside, and the title had been kind of messed up with dates and stuff, and I was a little worried that that was going to mess it up, but that didn't seem to be a problem. But because the car sat for so long in the forest and they didn't register it properly last time, I paid the fees, but I have to get it inspected. So I think I'm going to have to throw this on a trailer and drive down the DMV with it. That's a lot of fun, but anyway, it is what it is. I did notice, I mentioned to one of the potential buyers that someone has removed the ID plate or the emissions plate here, and the other plate that has the color coding here. This plate is extremely worn. It does have the VIN number, just barely visible right here. And I don't know what's happened to it. It seems like it's really weathered. You can just make out the weight and all that stuff, and most of the VIN number, the first few digits, are a little illegible. I'm a little concerned that that's going to be a problem, but as you know, I went on the group site and asked where the stamp is, and that's on the left hand or the passenger side leg here. It is visible. It's been heavily tarnished with a bit of surface rust and general denting. I fired some acid etch onto it to eat some of the rust away, and I've been cleaning it with a wire brush, and that's, I'm sure, is going to be fine because it all correlates anyway. So haven't had time to throw a starter on and test whether it cranks over. As you know from the previous video, it was the lights came on, indicators, radio, a fuse had blown or it was slightly damaged, and I put a new one on. The radio came on, which was nice. I put the air leveling valve on in the inside, and I replaced this hose because this was all chewed up. This is not what should be on there, but it will do for the moment. And I was able to get some air in the system where it lifted to readjust one of the rear blocks, so it did lift up on the airbags. And also there is definitely a hissing coming from down here. This is the leveling valve down here. That's an obviously it's going to leak, you know, over these years. But what was really good, I got underneath and I noticed that the airbags on the front are really nice airbags. I mean, they don't have any cracking. I rubbed them and they seem like extremely new bags, relatively new, and that's why I think he had raised it at the front to take the stress off. And I'll show you in a minute. At the back, I think it's the same. So whoever ends up with the car, I think you might be all right for airbags for at least a little while. While we're up here, I did take off the splash guards, and they're really nice and clean behind there. They had built up a lot of, let me get the flashlight. I did take this one off. I've put it back on right now, but there is a powered Hirschman aerial underneath there, antenna, which is another bonus. And these tyres are extreme. I mean, obviously you don't know how old these are, but these will do for rolling it around. But these have still the little new nibs, you know, and they kind of smell that rubbery new smell. That's the two front ones, which is kind of nice. Let me get the flashlight on here. Now this was all full of junk and crap, but you can see in here, you can see there's my bolts in there, you'll see that, but you can see that's pretty darn clean in there. Little surface rust here, but that's to be expected. Try and get the light here, hold on. So you can do that, turning that channel off to the right there, that's where crap collects and doesn't drain out properly. I blew all that out that is so much nicer than my 6.3 in there. So also it's another little service thing if anyone has a 108, 109. It doesn't take a few minutes to take these splash guards off and blow that out in there and make sure that drainage hole is clear. Because as I've said before, there's a drain hole just under this trim and it's prone to getting clogged and rotting out this panel. So that's something else I found. Still can't get the back door open. That's not the end of the world. These clips turn out, I was chatting with Simon on the group, and these clips I think are for a sun visor. You can see the fade line where they had one of those visor things there to stop the wind turbulence and everything. I also noticed when I turned the car on, there was a noise from the motor in the rear for the sunroof. Okay, so checked all, shown you all the engine last time. I put one of the battery off my 4.5 in here to as a temporary thing. That doesn't go with the sale because I need it for my 4.5. Took the rotor cap off. Rotor cap looks almost new by the looks of it. See? It doesn't look like that's been on there long. Not a lot of scoring on the tips and everything. Obviously a rotor arm and all that off. It's got points. Purist. Doesn't feel like there's any wear in the distributor shaft. Looks like a new, obviously not stock vacuum hose there, but I also did notice that looks new, so maybe there's a new diaphragm in there or something. Just little indicators really. Had some work done on it. It looks maybe like a new switch there. New sensor, I should say. Did I also notice this overflow pipe has broken away from the underside of the radiator cap here, so I don't think that's a big deal. A little brazing or something on there, we'll sort that. Also I noticed that, oh, bang me bloody head there. Alright, you can see the radiator shroud has been a little chewed up. I think because, see, they've got someone's wired this. Let me get the focus right. Yeah, someone's wired here, and what I assume is this dropped, hit the blade, chewed it up, and they went, "Oi, look, we've not put that back on. Oh, we've lost it." So they put there's a wire there, so you can get these things. I might even have one kicking around. So that, you know, you can pick these up, these shrouds anyway. Oh, doesn't have a water bottle. Don't think my 108 actually I do have it, but it's in the shed. I haven't put it on yet. So anyway, so it looks so much nicer, doesn't it, than the other day. I think with a little bit of paint on that air filter housing would make it look real presentable in there really, and the brake booster, a little bit on here, you know, a little bit of cosmetics. That'll look pretty decent engine bay really. Oh, I have, like I say, I'm going to include another door to help with the repair of that. So with all that said, let's dive underneath the car and take a good gander. Hopefully I hopefully use this camera, otherwise I'll switch to the cell phone. This is a bit bulky, this one, so let's get under here. There we go, get some light on our subject. So if you were following my 6.3 videos, you'll see this is where the damage is on the front there. Now that's pretty much segregated to the front floor pan, the upright, not the lower, and it's surface rusted the inner rocker there, but as you can see, this inner rocker, and if you can see, I'm not sure what you can see on camera, but you can see the green hue from the overspray from the factory. And I've chipped away some of this underseal, and see the pinch wet, this drain plug, the drain plug there is probably clagged up. There's a drain hole here underneath the jacking's the point. It's all dented here. There's some grey crap on here that someone's done some botchy repair, so that'll need further investigation. But the pinch weld, check that out. That's, oops, hold on. Pinch weld looks really nice all the way along. Like I say, I've scraped this underseal, and it seems to come off pretty easy, so that's a bonus actually, so we can see what we're doing. Let me get my scraper out, the light. Now you can see, there you go, see that green hue? That's definitely like like the overspray from when they did it at the factory, you know. But on my 6.3, this area has got some rust, some surface rust on this pinch weld corner here, but again, that's not rotted away or anything. It just needs a good old wire brushing and cleaning. And one of the crucial areas is obviously where the suspension connection is, and that is all solid, so I can assure you of that. That's really nice. Again, little surface rust there. Let's see if we can dig in a little deeper here. Bit of Harry Houdini here. Hold on. So in this little hidden chamber in here, so see, little, that's actually not even surface rust, that's just filth. That's mud or something thrown up there, I think. But you can see all of that inner chamber there. All very, very nice. All these kind of vulnerable areas are very clean. And then we get to the airbag at the back. Okay, see that airbag? Look at that. Now, that's in really nice shape, that one. Don't worry, I'm not going to whip it off and stick it on my 6.3. So no, that goes with it. So that's a real bonus. Now, as far as the suspension, I've been asked to look at the suspension. It's a little difficult, obviously, because it's covered in gunk. And it's got your typical slime and crap all over it. Could do with a good washing. But I'm not seeing anything standing out that's horrendous or anything. But again, that airbag over there looks in really nice shape. You might get a few years out of them. That engine, that suspension mount also looks really good. And on top of that, as I said before, this floor pan looks really, pretty good. No massive dents in it. I'm checking, I don't know whether you can see now, let me reposition here. See, I'm checking the inner rocker on the other side, because I have to jack it up. See that inner rocker right there where I'm shining the light there? That's pretty bad on my 6.3, but that looks, again, real solid. Got a really solid little 109 here, I think. Ah, there's a dent here. Someone's drove it over something and mushed it there, so that'll need addressing, I presume. I mean, not a dilker, it might actually just be under the seat. I think that might be. Anyway, again, let me get my scraper a minute and then you'll see. See, look at that stuff, it just flows off. It's a bonus really, because you can get to see you've got a nice floor there. And see that green? What I'd like to do, I don't have the facilities to do it, but get this thing up on the air and give it a good steam cleaning underneath, you know, so you can get to see what you're working with. Now, I noticed, let me switch around my position. See, look at those tyres. Like I say, there's a lot of indicators that this bloke, whoever had this before, liked this car, and he'd put a little bit of money in it, and then he passed away, unfortunately. So Let's see, flex disc. Doesn't look distorted or anything like that. Looks good. Now what I did notice here, a wire hanging down. I'm not sure, this is something to do with the transmission, and that's broken. Pretty sure that's to do with the transmission. Plugs in up there somewhere. And also, I do want to be absolutely clear, everybody. See this little service hatch here? Now I think there's a little break there. That looks like it might have broken. Someone driving like a nutter going over something and banging into that. I don't think that's a deal killer, but anyway, I just want to make sure you know. Obviously a little bit of weeping here. Normal stuff you expect. You know, front suspension needs obviously all going over, and you know, engine mounts, I presume. There's the old starter motor. I'll see if I can get around to that, see if that's been disconnected or something. Rear passenger side. Let me just check that there. It's not rust, that's just flaky under seal again. Little dented pinch weld here. That's just a drainage hole that's got a little rust around it. I think I should have a plug in it. I did notice, oh, blown silencer. That's normal crap, isn't it? Moisture builds up. So obviously you'll need a new one of them. And there's that other hole I found the other day, you remember? So that is just by the silencer here. But again, our floor too. Yeah, the floor here on the rear, you know, the wheel well looks really nice. Look at that. That's really a bonus, that is. Except that moisture build up, I don't know. Tank looks relatively unscathed, just no big dents. Oh, leveling valve on the back here, so that almost looks a bit clean, as far as possibly, if you lucked out, that's been serviced, but you never know. Rear suspension boot there. Let me have a little gander at that. Hold on, let me get the... Just change the battery. Okay, so let me get this light in here. Okay, so I wanted to show you now. It's up at the moment because I've jacked it. See that buffer there? See my wooden block? It's come away from there. It's just that when it sits down, it hits that buffer. But see that hole there? That's where the drainage tubes have to come out from the trunk, from the rear window. Now I think, see there's a dented area here? I think someone has blocked it before and not got it underneath the rubber buffer where my block is, you see. And they've put some bit of wood there and it's dented it. Now I don't think that's the end of the world. I think that could be probably planished back into shape. So I just wanted you to notice that. Okay, see that up there? That is not bent metal, that's just seam sealer failure. So it's not, oh, wait a minute, that is a little bit bent there. Yeah, that's just where some wally put a block in and it bent it up a bit. As I say, I don't think that's a deal breaker, but it does need planishing down. As far as the boot here, you know, it's difficult to see really. It's all grimy. You know, I'm sure whoever has this is going to whip this rear axle off and give it a good old going over. Anyway, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of apparent leaks here. It's just grimy. Exhaust is loose, you know, obviously the hangers. I might throw a new hanger on that just to hold it up so I don't rattle like a madman. You see these are my blocks I make, you see. These little blocks work pretty well actually. That just saddles up there.
just rests up there. 2.5 inch diameter hole, and then slice it in half so you got kind of a yoke. These kind of bushings, obviously dried, that kind of thing. Alright, let's try and slide over, get a bit close here. Fuel pump, obviously. Looks like a relatively new filter there. Not much to say about that. What I did notice, I'll show you on this side. See that fitting on the brake line there? That looked a little cleaner than the surroundings, so maybe he had the brake hoses changed. Not obviously you'll change them again, but just another indicator of someone that seemed like they were on top of things. Okay. What's that? Hold on. No, it's funny because you think there's rust holes, but there's not. It's that flaky underseal, which is, it's you know, it can be a bit of a moisture trap, but this stuff is failing all over the place and allowing moisture to come out, which is kind of nice. So, bit dented there. Little surface rust here, but not rusted through like the other side. Tow hook's fine, all this is good. There's a little bit of shenanigans going on here. See, look, someone's done a, I don't know, a rubbish repair there by the looks of it. I don't know whether that's fiberglass or something. I'm actually going to do a repair on both these on my 6.3, so it's not the end of the world really. I mean, pinch welds and stuff, spot welding. I think that's it back here. Let's see if what we can see down the other side, and then we'll call it a day. You can see all the sealer there. That looks all solid there. As I say, I've shown you these before on the other video, but have a quick old look. You can see the consistency there. Little bubble in there. Let's try and get. This is that dent area. I say, not the end of the world. Hose there hanging down. Huh, what that one is, that doesn't seem right. There's a hose, a rubber hose here. This doesn't seem right here, but you'll have to inspect that. See, this is a rubber hose, which I don't know why there'd be a rubber hose down here. These should all be metal. Yeah, anyway, that's obviously not right. That one's sitting on its own. So anyway, you'll check that out. That looks pretty good. There's a little tiny bit of rust area here. Just, again, something to note. This suspension mount's good, as I said before. Oh man, oh, there's my scraper there, look. My hat's over there as well. Okay, this is the front driver side, just by the main frame here. So this is got some surface rust on it, and I did find another little hole here on the upright of the floor pan. What I'm thinking, you see, is you know, the typical thing, the under seal, trap moisture, with the seam sealer or what have you, and just trapped it in these little edges. For some reason my 6.3 is fine here. My problems are all in the inner rocker area, but for some reason this guy, you know, it's the luck of the draw, I suppose, and what have you. But yeah, this isn't horrendous, you know. It's probably a 2-inch hole, but then, you know, as you know, you have to cut out quite a bit more because it leaches into the other areas. But your main frame is solid as a rock, which is obviously very important. Okay, let's try and get round to the starter motor. Okay, we're under the front again. See the caliper there? It's pretty clean actually. These little, you know, the sway bar bushings, these are typical. I don't think they're overly expensive to replace those actually. They're a little dried out, normal stuff. Residue there, but everything looks in shape. What I did notice is if you have these 108s and all that, these yokes often get really dented up, you know, these things, but that looks pretty good actually. Subframe, you know, yoke thing. A little bit of wood in there, that's my block. Let's have a look, see if I can get under here for the starter. So someone's unplugged the side marker light or something there, I don't know why. Little surface rust on the bumper support beam, but I don't think it's rusted through or anything like that. Again, better than my 6.3. Let's see. I hope you can see all this. Okay, the old starter motor. It's all still connected. I mean, on my 6.3, you see the solenoid was all dried and cracked and heat damaged. So yeah, it's anybody's guess, isn't it? I mean, if I've got time, I'm going to get in there. Another leveling valve. Yeah, not much to show you really under here. Just looks like an old car. Other leveling valve there, just so you see it. Those can be a little pricey to get rebuilt, but you know, once it's done, see that brake hose over there. I don't know whether you can see it, but it looks kind of clean. But I might have forgotten to say also, I'm going to throw in these two steel wheels that will match the front ones, because get rid of this bunt one shot. It's all the plating has come off of it, and I think there's a bunt one on the other side. I'm not a big lover of those bunt wheels myself. Some people really like them, but I prefer the hubcaps. But anyway, I'll throw in those two steel wheels there, and there's another one there that you can have as your spare. That's a little grubby looking, but clean those up. You can get those. The other one on the bottom there, I think it's a completely different style, so I'll just throw these two in and that one, and the door. And I've got a little bit of wood trim kicking around. Let me go and show you that. Okay, so I've set out a few pieces of trim here. It's not a great deal, but it'll get you started. This one's probably the worst one. It's a little delaminated at the end there, but with a little careful gluing and clamping, that one could be used again. It's a little blister there, look, little missing bit. But these are burl ones, actually that one's not. That's a straight grain. Oh no, tell a lie. That one's a burl one, but pretty trashed. Now these ones are burl, and they're pretty usable shape. I mean, obviously they've got to be refinished. Again, though, this one's a straight grain. So what I'll do, I'll sort you out the burl ones, because you want the burl in this car because it's got burl. So there's no point giving you the straight grain one. So there's those four pieces there.
And if I can find anything else, I may have, hold on a minute, I've got a couple of glove box fronts up here, but I think that's the style. See, this one's a burl one, but it's not the right style. It's the one, this is an earlier one with this, this is like my 68. So anyway, that's all really. So I'll throw those 4 pieces in as well, and I'll see if I've got any other bits kicking around. I'm not into making tons of money on spares. I'd rather them go to someone to fix the car up, you know, and just throw it in with a deal. These two, like I say, are straight grain anyway, so they're no good to you. Okay, well, thanks again for watching. I think I've been fairly thorough with it. Make sure everyone knows what they're getting. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. As I said on the Facebook group, that this is going to be on offer till Friday. We've got a couple of offers already, which is great stuff. I'm not going to put it on Bring a Trailer because now that it's in offer, you know, that wouldn't be right. So it's just a group sale, which is kind of cool. If we can do more of these, you know, not just me, but if there's anyone out there, it'd be kind of a good thing to get going and save more of these old beasts. And yeah, so as I say, I've got to get it inspected by, I called the CHP, and he said that they don't actually inspect non-running cars, which I'm not sure why, but he said he's booked up till January anyway, and he only does 2 a month, so that's no good. So I've got to get a trailer next Monday, and I'll trailer it down there and set in line and get it sorted out. I've paid the fees, but just that one more stab, it shouldn't be a problem. Like I say, it's got the VIN number not clearly visible, but you can make it out, so I hope I don't have any static from them. Yeah, so I'm excited. It's good. It's good to see a car like this be rescued. So good luck to you guys who are bidding, and it'll be great to see, and hopefully whoever ends up with the car keeps us posted. Obviously this is going to someone that would like to restore it, certainly not a parts car, and so it'd be good to see it being restored and brought back to life again. And because you've got a good base, I don't think that's going to be too much of an ordeal. Bit of cash, sure, but anyway, thanks again for watching, guys, and please hit subscribe and the like button if you like what you see, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.